Hello and welcome everyone. I am Neko Narrator, and I am here to introduce some unsuspecting victims, unlucky people who somehow managed to avoid hearing about gacha games. Being one of the best things that ever happened definitely, and it is definitely not that famous. It is not like it was infecting the internet with ads with the infinite money they got from people selling their souls to anime waifus. Or if you heard but still hesitate because you heard bad things about the fandoms or games, then I'm happy to tell you to not worry, everything is fine. Most of the people in the fandom aren't not toxic or basement dwellers who haven't seen the sun in a week, and games definitely won't try to milk you dry of what little time and money you have. And even if that is the case, it definitely won't work, because we aren't weebs that flawed and empty our wallets the moment you see that one character that you will simp for harder than you thought was possible, no matter how much you convinced yourself that such a character won't exist. And even then it'll definitely be because they have a deep personality and they have a lot of relevance to the plot. Or that their voice that is filled with emotion and definitely won't awaken something it properly shouldn't have. And this video is definitely not a cheap copy of those actually funny people that is made by a guy who can barely speak English and decided to use AI voice instead of his own while taking in the fact that he lacks confidence to even make a recording. No, it was definitely that the mic was broken, and there is no problem with my self-confidence, and I didn't have to scrap the original idea of this channel and start anew. And I definitely didn't add this VTuber avatar out of pure spite, since this was the original idea. I am definitely not uploading this with no quality control at all, not caring whether it good or bad, because I spend a good part of my vacation on this, and I would hate myself for the next month if I don't upload. Actually, now that I think about it, I am hating myself regardless for that wasted time. And I am using the free voice I found in the app and random pictures I picked from Google, so hopefully I won't have any problem with copyright. As for edits, I am just starting, man, and I am using a laptop that is most likely cursing me in a language I don't understand. Anyway, back to topic. Don't worry, I am not here to trick you to like gacha games. I am here to make you curious. After all, that is how most people started playing them, and definitely not to spite some random ads and realize that they can't stop. But first let me give you, sweet innocent soul, a better idea of what gacha games are. If you somehow had managed to not have that friend that never stops talking about anime and gacha games and by some kind of miracle managed to avoid ads. And I will do it by telling you how to make one and think as one of the developers. So for start, remember the best game or most popular game you played in the last couple of years. Now take this game and make it look like anime. I don't care what type of game it is, even if it's chess, just make the pawns cool anime girl soldier with spear, and make queen hot goth girl with whip for some reason, and make king saber and the board they play on made of a galaxy that makes sense because anime. And you got the idea. Let's move to next part. Make the game free. I can hear the investors getting heart attack. Tell him to climb down. So player will love the game character. So much that they will donate their money to us later, an unhealthy amount of money at that, to get her. As for how to make them donate that money easily, take the goth queen I just mentioned, give her a sad backstory, package her up, and put her in a gacha machine. Add another character who isn't as good gameplay-wise or in terms of personality and plot. Then, add 10 times as much garbage, sell tickets, and put her weapon in a different gacha machine as well. Make it so that, even if players win, there's a 50% chance they won't get their goth waifu and will instead get a character they don't want, like a certain cute zombie kid, no names needed. Then, make it so that character becomes stronger when players win the character again, or add abilities that make him overpowered. It's not like some of these ideas make EA look reasonable or less greedy. I honestly wonder how they didn't come up with these concepts first, or why they haven't already made something like this. Just imagine a gacha game developed by EA would definitely be more friendly to free player and not even worse somehow. Now that we've got the art designs and have separated players from their money. Now, for the gameplay, copy as much as possible from the original while ensuring that you can add an infinite number of characters for players to use. However, make most of the game extremely easy, but still include some dark corners for masochists who haven't seen grass in weeks, and for whales, where the numbers go crazy. They'll call everyone who can't enter the dark zones peasants, because they can't make the numbers go up. Alright, developer, now we need some extra effort from you. Take the world of the game and make it feel somewhat different from the original, but just as beautiful or even more so. Make that part genuinely good, like make this world so breathtaking that people will be shocked by how much effort you put into them without any catch. As for character balance, don't make them weak by game standards, but ensure they won't power creep the older characters, at least for the first year. That's the basic guarantee. After a year, most whales will have forgotten anyway, or the ones who haven't paid, or donated, are peasants, so who cares? Okay, you've been nice for long enough. Now let's talk about the leveling and progression system. When thinking about the system, you need to think of Monkey D. Luffy and start stretching it out. I want you to prolong the process to the point where even Eiichiro Oda would ask for advice. The second important thing is to add a subtle hint of gambling addiction. Make every number, except the character's original stats, depend on luck. Limit the amount of resources and the number of attempts players have each day to upgrade or improve their characters. Of course, you can offer them the option to pay for more energy to get additional tries, or they can waste their progress by not playing daily. And lastly, the most painful feature, limited time events and daily rewards. If players don't log in for a while, they'll miss out on wholesome moments with a character they like, along with a ton of resources and free pulls. The goal is to ensure that once they're hooked, they won't be able to stop. Finally, to complete this wonderful game, which is definitely not a blight on society or a money-sucking machine, is the story. Make the story so complicated that it makes fate seem simple. Fill it with the most detailed world-building possible, including genuinely good ideas, beautiful environments, intriguing lore, and captivating characters. Then, slap on the plot of an average trash isekai and introduce the world through walls of convoluted exposition. I want the poor soul playing to feel like they're back in their first college math lecture, filled with the regret of choosing an engineering major. And make the protagonist be your average self-insert with a bland personality who has gone mute and appears out of nowhere, yet for some reason, all characters like and respect him. People will tolerate that, the same way they like trashy isekai protagonists, and just ignore he exists and focus on the other characters. I nearly forgot. Make the dialogue feel like it was written by a teenager who thinks he knows philosophy and wants to sound smart. This is definitely not the case sometimes, but surprisingly, if you get past that, you might actually find a touching and interesting story filled with emotion and moving moments. But it's not like it takes just a couple of patches for good moments that I might care about to appear. Hold on a second, they made it popular and normalized spending money for anime waifus. Maybe it is actually time to use my computer science degree in something like that. How hard can it be? I just described how to make one. I'd be rich. It's just that I'm broke, alone, my art sucks, and my lazy YouTube angry wasted 2 months to make AI-voiced video. Yeah, let's forget I said that. And if you decided for some reason to play one and join us, then welcome, my friend, to our community that's 100% not toxic. Just a warning, I'd empty your bank account, give all your cash to your mom, or pray and close your credit card. You might think that's extreme, but believe me, you'll thank me later. If you're still questioning it and think you're good at managing your impulses and finances, you probably didn't watch the video. But if you did, say that to the 10 subscriptions you made and forgot about. You'll make a mistake thinking you're an expert here. You'll believe at first it'll just be a couple of pulls, but it'll keep getting worse. You've already spent money, what's some more? And before you know it, it's too late. Don't give them the chance. Think of it like a vampire anime girl who'll make you love her before sucking you dry. Of course, I mean blood in this metaphor. If you thought of something different involving horns and a tail, that's on you. If you don't get what I'm talking about, you pure, innocent soul, you're better off not knowing. You don't have to awaken to the dark side. You'll ask me if we're making a game or just a gacha machine with drawings of beautiful anime characters as the winning prize. To that, I say gacha machines are still games. Real disclaimer. Don't take anything in this video seriously. Seriously. I'm saying this because I know only smart people use the internet.